So we stopped off at a local business here, and Carolyn was wanting to look at some stuff so she could do her crocheting. And of course they know who we were. They asked if we wanted this firewood that a tree fell down a couple of years ago. Not the whole tree, just a big limb. They actually knocked out the electric in town for a while. So they asked if we wanted. So I went and got this morning. It's sycamore. Now, sycamore is a softwood, and it doesn't burn very hot. So this and like walnut is really good for the fall and the springtime when the temperatures aren't that cold. But then you get into hickory and oak. This is hickory here, and then we got oak over here, and that's good for the real cold weather because that gets really hot. The problem with sycamore, and it's a serious problem, I love the wood to burn, but man, it is hard to split. Well, it's just impossible to split, to be honest. The problem with sycamore is there's basically two different things going on, and it's hard to see. So what you have to do is you have to let sycamore dry in its log form for a couple years before you can even decide to do anything with it. So you cut it up in logs and you just let it sit, and then you'll start to see the cracks. And that means that you can start to actually split this, but you're not going to split it with a maul. What it is, you have a solid core on this, and then out here you have kind of like a thick bark, I don't know what you want to call it, and all those fibers are intertwined with each other. They don't grow straight. And so when you take your maul, it just stops right here. And if you try to hit the center, I mean, that's just useless. That doesn't work at all because you got that separate core. And the reason it splits so well when it dries like this, you can see all those splits, is because the core is still wet. I guess that's the way to put it. But this is dry, so one is shrinking and the other is expanding, and it cracks the wood. See, you can see a huge crack here. So the best thing you can do is take your little hatchet and you just hit it with a hammer and you try to break this apart in little pieces. You'll just slice off little chunks at a time, but don't get into that center until you get all the outer part out, and then you get into the center. That's about the best way to do this. Even a large log splitter struggles with this. So even with a log splitter, you would have to still take it in slices. You do the outside first, get all that off, and then you could split the center. But I've given up on using them all. It's impossible. So you can't hardly turn down firewood, but this is going to be a lot of work. So, which I picked this up this morning. They asked if we wanted it last night or yesterday evening. So I went down there about 6:30 and I got it. There's still 3 large pieces. They were too heavy for me to pick up by myself. So if Carolyn comes with me, maybe she can help me. I don't know, they may be too heavy then too. So, but it got us to thinking yesterday about a log splitter. I've been looking for a log splitter forever, trying to find something reasonable. Of course, I can work on the equipment. So if I bought something used that didn't run, I could fix it up. But they want so much money for these things. I mean, they will sell one that's missing an engine for 500 bucks. And you can't talk them down. I know what I got. They're just outrageously expensive. And I guess it's worth it. I guess people pay for it, I guess. But I can't understand it. You know, I've even thought about, okay, I'll get one without an engine that still has fairly good hydraulics in it, good motor or a pump on it, and I'll go get a Predator engine from Harbor Freight for 150 bucks. Now I'll just put it on. But I can't find anything. You just can't find anything within reasonable prices. And then you'll find one for $200. You think, hey, there's one. And then you open up the page and all the hoses are broke off, and you just can't trust that it's actually going to be usable. So you're going to end up rebuilding the whole thing anyways. I don't know, they just seem really expensive to me. So we've talked, you may remember when we first moved on the property, we had a manual log splitter. I think that was 10 or 11 tons. And you use it like ski poles, and you just, well, that worked great, but it didn't last very long. It was much wood as we split. Well, I don't know, it probably lasted a long time compared to what we split, well, 15 years worth of firewood, and it just gave up. It just, I don't know. In the winter, it didn't work at all because the hydraulic oil was so thick that it just, so we ended up taking it inside to split firewood. Now imagine that in our little tiny house. So, so we've thought about a lot of things, and we thought, well, maybe we'll go get a Harbor Freight electric log splitter. And there's some downsides to that, there really is. They're not very strong. Now you'll know, before I get into that Carolyn comes out here about September time frame, and she's already setting up now. And we have to split our firewood extremely small for the tiny house. We don't use large pieces. And even this is probably too big. That probably could use another split. So she splits it very small. I wish I could find something that is a good example. But everything is really small, almost kindling size, maybe just a little bit bigger than kindling size. So she comes out here starting in September, and she just starts splitting all winter long, and she'll get a good stack before we actually have to use it. But we tend to burn it faster than she can keep up. So, you know, by late season, you know, it becomes a struggle. I'm out here helping when I can, and I mean, I appreciate she does it. I would take it over in a minute, but she does find it therapeutic to come out here and split wood. But it does take a long time. So, you know, you got that problem. And you can't really come out here in the summertime because it's just so hot that you'd end up quitting before you got started. And the snakes. The snakes love hiding in the firewood. And she has ran into snakes. And it's not so much that you pick a log up and you see a snake. I mean, that's not the biggest problem. It's when you find a log that has a hole in it and you split it and the snake comes out of the center of the log. That's a little disturbing. So she waits until September. And by October, she's got, you know, she's already made a rack. She makes a new rack each year. Kind of redesigns it. Well, she takes it apart. And then the next year, she builds it again. So, like I said, we have thought about getting an electric log splitter. You know, it's 5 or 6 tons. It's not a lot of power. But again, we don't need a lot of power because, you know, I come out here and I split the firewood. Now that sycamore I won't split, but I split everything and I let it dry. So this is ready to burn this year, but these are too big to put in her stove. So she'll come out here and she'll split that into small pieces. So it would seem reasonable to get a log splitter, just a small one, 5-6 tons. So, like I said, we've considered it every year. Well, since we got the sycamore, and she doesn't want to split all that by hand, and I can't get the maul through it, I asked her, you want to, you know, again this year, I asked her, you want to get an electric log splitter? And she hem-hauled around just enough that I thought, well, I guess I can answer the question for her, because, I mean, if Carolyn doesn't want something, she'll just say no. It's like the wash machine. For years, she said no, 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 no. And then she hesitated one year. And so I got it. Not only that, we were getting a lot of flack from people about not having did I say dishwasher? Sorry, wash machine. So she hesitated. So I went on Amazon and I found one for like $299. And I thought, oh, this is perfect. It was, you know, a popular one, had pretty good reviews. So I thought, well, if it doesn't work, we can just send it back. No big deal. I mean, I didn't want to spend $300 for it, but that's the thing, is people are going to say, well, you should go get one, you know, a 12-ton one or whatever. Well, you know, one of the things that I said when we started this is that little efficient wood stove is going to save us a ton of money in heating cost. You know, we use a cord of wood, so that's 3 pickup truck loads. My small 4-cylinder pickup, that's 3 loads. That's 1 cord. That lasts us 1 winter, and we had 15 years when we started. We've been here 6, and I say that we're probably maybe halfway through it. So, I mean, it was a pretty good estimate of what we had. And I wasn't being scientific about it. I wasn't out there with a tape measure or anything. I was just kind of guessing. But if you're starting to spend a bunch of money in wood stove products or wood splitting products, it's no longer cost effective. You know, my grandparents did the same thing. They go out and they spend $600–700 every year to split wood or to cut firewood. You know, new chainsaws and all the stuff that you needed. They had to have a tractor. They had a log splitter. And sometimes I wondered, is it really saving any money? Plus, and I don't mind the work, but if you're not saving money and you're putting all that work into it, it's almost like you're double paying for firewood. Right now, I just put my labor into it. Don't get me wrong, labor is money, but that's all we're putting into it, is just labor. But if you're putting labor and money, so that's just double labor. So anyway, I bought one off Amazon, but I already had the Walmart webpage up too, and I never looked at it. So when I closed the Amazon page, the Walmart page opened, you know, was open, and there was a Hyper Tough one. Now, you know, in the last few videos I've talked about, I love these Hyper Tough tools. I think they're fantastic. I mean, I'm sure somebody disagrees, but I think they're great. You know, I've had that impact wrench for what, 3 years now, 2 years? Regardless, I mean, it's done a fantastic job. And they had a Hyper Tough one there on sale. They knocked $100 off of it. So for like $180, there was a Hyper Tough one. So that was basically half of the price of the one I just bought off Amazon. So I quickly jumped back on Amazon and I canceled that order, and they instantly canceled it. Usually they'll say, well, we'll have to determine if we can cancel it. Nope, it instantly canceled it. So I bought the Hyper Tough one. It's supposed to be here tomorrow. Now it'll be here late tomorrow, but maybe I can make a video the day after of us splitting a few pieces of wood with that. I'm pretty excited about it. And the thing is for $180, that's $80 more than the manual one that we had a few years ago. That was $100, and that lasted, like I said, it did all 15 cords. But we don't really need to split huge logs anymore. We just need to split these down to smaller sizes. Last spring I cut down a tree, a walnut tree, and you know, when I've got most of it cut up, but then I just don't want to go down there with all the ticks. That's my problem. So this winter or this fall, after the first frost, I'll go back down there. I'll start picking some of that up, and we'll see if it's dry enough. You know, the 20% or below. I doubt if it's going to be dry enough. I cut it down before spring, so it wasn't sucking water up into the trunk. So it may be dry enough for this winter. I seriously doubt it, though. Not with it being in full logs, but it'll definitely be ready for next winter. But I can come up here, and you never know. That machine might be big enough. It's supposed to be able to do 10-inch rounds. And I measured a log yesterday over there, and it was 10 inches, right at 10 inches. And that was a huge piece. And I thought, wow, that's bigger than I expected. And I've watched YouTube videos, and I see some of these guys really trying to overload that machine, and they put huge things on it, and it's splitting them. But I told Carolyn, don't expect a lot out of this. And it's just not that powerful. Now, I'm not sure if I can run it on the solar panels and the batteries. I'm not sure the inverter's big enough. It's 15 amps, which is like 1,800 watts. And my inverter is only 2,000 watts, so it may not push it. But I can run those 2 generators, and that'll do fine. Of course, yeah, we're burning gas, or propane or whatever. But it's not that big of a cost. So she's excited about it. I'm happy for her because she never gets new toys. She never buys anything for herself. So if you'll click this up next box, take the video over my other channel, I'll really appreciate it. Go check it out. So if I can inspire you, get ready for winter so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.